This is Nick Kinney, the North Plains Groundwater Conservation District's Water Conservation Center, just north of Dumas, Texas. Currently we're standing in the east pivot, which as you can see was corn in the 2019 season with all of the stubble remaining. Today we're planting cotton, and in this particular pivot it'll be a couple of projects overlaid. The primary one is we're looking at populations in cotton planting, trying to determine which is going to be the most effective for water use efficiency and the economics of it. So we're installing 4 different plant populations varying from 45,000, 65,000, which is the field standard. One hole span is going to be at 90,000 and one hole span is going to be at 110,000 seeds per acre. The programs we've been working on at the Water Conservation Center have to deal exactly with what we're looking at now. The combination of a cotton and corn rotation, alternating back and forth from pivot to pivot. So the west pivot, if you can span and look that direction, you can see it off in the distance. That west pivot was cotton last year, and it's going to corn this year. We're measuring the soil water. So what we've been doing this particular week in preparation for plantings, we dug an 8-foot pit, went down and pulled samples from each foot. So 1 foot increments all the way down to 8 feet to see what kind of water extraction we're getting to depth. It looks like the soil following corn is relatively moist yet down to the full 8-foot profile. When we plant corn over the cotton in 2 weeks, it's going to be interesting to see how deep we truly extracted water with the cotton crop last season. We've had to pre-water a little bit this year to make sure that we've got an adequate profile to match our critical management point. That's always a tough decision and something that we are very aware of in the corn-cotton rotation. The benefit here is that we can apply less than 10 inches in season on cotton most years, where in the corn we're looking at 20 inches of application. So when we look at our average application year to year in a corn-cotton rotation, we're in that 15 to sub 15 inch applied. There's going to be some risks with that we're vetting out. So the soil pits are really revealing to us. And so like I mentioned, the soil pit here in last year's corn crop in preparation for cotton looks excellent. I think we are set up to have a great cotton crop. Time will tell as we go throughout the season. We'll keep you updated what the corn looks like following cotton. Other things we're doing, and you can kind of see them as you pan through the background, is we've got permanent soil moisture probes installed. We've got 1 in this field. We've got 4 installed in our drip fields, and then 1 installed in the west pivot. We've also taken gravimetric samples from each of the treatments here in this field so that we can tell throughout the season and from the start and finish of the season what our true water extraction was. We've got gypsum blocks installed in each replication. We're just trying to find all of the details through data and continue this. For reference, this is our 3rd year doing this rotation with heavy documentation. So this is actually coming back on starting the rotation again. So this originally was cotton, and now we're going back to cotton with it. Another point I'll mention is we are standing in a center pivot field, but this will all be compared, and similar projects are taking place in subsurface drip irrigation plots. The differences there that we're trying to tease out is what type of management strategies can we use in drip to improve yields so that the yields can be consistently high in drip the way that we've come to expect them to be in the pivots. Also, we'll look at what type of water use efficiency benefits we might find in drip in these high production settings and in low production settings as water's withheld. For example, on our cotton and drip, we're cooperating heavily with Dr. Jordan Bell, who is performing her race trials here at the center. She's overlaying that traditional race trial where she looks at varieties with 2 different irrigation treatments. One that's going to have earlier initiation and one that's going to have delayed initiation of that first irrigation, as if in a cotton corn rotation you were to take and prioritize all of your water on your corn when you thought your corn was in good shape in mid-August, you can pull some water off of that and try to finish your cotton crop. So that scenario, just really fascinating to see all these comparisons. As you can see by the background, this is a farm. This is not a small plot research center. We're trying to fit a niche with this, is that middle ground between research, which is invaluable but takes a little bit of time to transition. What we're trying to do here is apply those best management practices through demonstration and on full field scale so that it truly can be applied and inputted in the operation right away. The goal here at the Water Conservation Center is, as the name implies, to conserve water. And we're looking at it from a couple of different angles. One is that primary angle of how do we stay economically viable in the process of conserving water. So we recognize that each inch applied has to have a true and intrinsic deep value that can be monetized. The way that we see that is we have to be able to effectively grow a crop where we're looking at input costs, we're looking at budget concerns, we're looking at marginal utility, where each incremental input, we want to make sure that we're getting a better incremental return. And that's what our purpose is here. And we'll keep you updated throughout the season with virtual field days. Open door policy. Any questions, thoughts throughout the season, please don't hesitate to call me. Reach out to anybody at the North Plains Groundwater Conservation District. Visit the website. Go to all of the social media. We'll put this on the screen as we're talking, but a link to the website where you can go to the bottom of the website and see all of the social media avenues where things are posted, YouTube videos, etc. We're excited for this 2020 season. We think it's going to be highly successful.